The sidekick business has been good to me, Sean Aston. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the man that has had many sidekicks and they're now buried in the back garden. Today, I am joined by the boy wonder, Stig.
Hello.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. It's Candy.
Hello.
And human cyborg relations fluent in over 6 million forms of communications. It's Gadget. Bleep bloop.
oh my.
And unfortunately, Biggie is not with us today. I'm sure he's going to send an email in later, so you will hear from him, Biggie fans. But before further ado, Stig, you need to sell this shit to us. Come on.
I do. If you enjoy what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/modern escapism. On there, you will find the 3 tiers that we do. First up, it's Modern Escapees for £5 a month. You'll get an extended edition of this episode every week, as well as at least one monthly special and any other specials that we do. When you get this episode, coming up will be our Moon Knight series. Oodles and I will be running for the next 6 weeks or so while that runs. And then hopefully we'll be back to a bit of Fast and Too Fast, Too Curious.
Oh, yes.
And if you are into Dungeons and Dragons, we do a D&D play podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep. £5 a month, the Scorched Sheep tier gets you ad-free early access of the episode, as well as any as well as artwork that Candy produces for the episode, and any additional stuff we produce, such as character sheets, battle maps, and music. And for £7.50, the Biggie Bundle gets you everything.
And why wouldn't you want everything? Subject to VAT. I always forget you do it, but I always like it. Excellent.
One day I'll just like reel off some like, terms and conditions. Yeah.
Have you, when they do it on radio and they do it really fast?
Yeah.
Subject to VAT.
May cause diarrhea.
Yeah.
Will cause diarrhea.
Let's just crack on with the Nexus guys. Take us time this time because we're a 4-man crew. Gadget, what have you been doing this week?
I've been doing a great many things. I've been playing ungodly amounts of Elden Ring.
Have you now?
Continuing that one.
Same.
Yep. Determined to pick my way through as much of that game before I get to the end game. I'm towards like the last couple of areas. I think I'm in the last third of the game at this point. I've just hit the capital.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm playing around with stuff. It's still so fucking good, and it's still surprising me, which is it's rare for a game for me to be like 58 hours in, and I'm still being surprised by the shit that it pulls.
Yeah, I got surprised the other day when all of a sudden I found out there's a huge underworld. It's just as big as the above world, and I was like, sorry for a bit of a spoiler there, but I was just like, fuck, this place is massive, and I ended up getting lost.
That is in the trailer, so I wouldn't worry about spoilers.
I just last night ended up was like, I'm in these caves. I have no idea where the fuck I am. Go around the corner. Oh, I'm in a boss fight.
Yeah.
Well, one of the surprises I had is kind of related to that, because there's one of the underworld locations you can see like a load of temples in the distance.
Oh,
that's some really lovely kind of like skyboxing architecture thing. And then I got a surprise. Yeah, fucking go there. Just a different route to get in, and it's and then you would look back over where you were, and you just like, oh shit.
It's definitely a temple you could have used one of Pip's tampons with. Definitely. Trust me.
I haven't done that boss fight yet, but I know, yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that because we talk about that every week. I will finish it at some point.
It has become an Elden Ring podcast.
Yeah, before this becomes an Elden Ring podcast. I finished To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. And I was sad when it ended because I have no more of it to read.
Oh, that's a good sign, though.
Like, I know I've griped over the last couple of weeks about Christopher Paolini doing the men writing women thing. And those bits do let it down slightly. Those are what stops it being like a perfect 10.
Yeah.
But it's a 9.5. It's a strong 9.5. It's like you get to the end of the book and it wraps up so satisfyingly, but also leaving it open for like the rest of the novels that are going to come out. But it's just like you get to the end of it and you feel bereft. There's just nothing left of it. And you're just like, I didn't want it to end yet.
I've had that feeling this week as well. I understand that feeling massively.
I have been looking forward to you finishing it because I've just had a gaping hole which I'll talk about. I've just finished a book, so I need something new to move on to.
You should put this book into your ears
or
your eyes, whichever
that
way.
hole.
Fill my gaping hole.
Yes.
She's single, boys.
Episode title, Candy's Gaping Hole.
I think we've used that one before.
But yeah, it's honestly, it's a stunning book, and I know I've talked about it over the last 3 weeks or so. It just it tantamount to the fact it's 880 pages book, and I read it in 3 weeks. Like, I powered through it. It's so good. And I was actually he responded to me on Twitter, and apparently the next book that's coming in is a prequel to this, which sets up some of the stuff that happened in this book. So I'm excited for that. And also kind of sad that it's not going to be about Kira and the crew of the Wallfish, because I kind of want to see what happened with them. Anyway, but really, really good. I've been watching Peacemaker, because it hit Now TV this last week.
It
is really fucking good. And kind of not what I expected it to be. I haven't finished it. I think I've episode 8's the next one I've got to watch. I think that's the last episode of the series. Can't remember whether it's 8 or 9 episodes, but John Cena is such a good sport for doing that show. The opening episode, him dancing around in his tighty whitey singing along to the choir boys.
He's very good anyway. He's a great entertainer, that man.
He's just
He looks
such
like
a
a
class doing that.
He
these
looks like
kind
a
of
human
roles.
caricature, doesn't he?
He knows
He
that,
does,
though.
yeah.
That's the thing. I've seen him in an interview when he gets his suits tailored, and he's like, just tuck it in a little bit. You know, they're like that. They're like that.
I like that when he gets to do his fight scenes, that he gets to put out some of the wrestling moves. I've noticed like some of the things that where he gets his head bashed off a car, like the way he's putting his hands and the way he's doing his punches and stuff like that. And it's obviously the James Gunn influence. The soundtrack, my God, the soundtrack is good.
Yeah, great.
Some really solid rock and roll tracks on that. I liked it. I like Robert Patrick in it as the White Dragon. Imagine going to Robert Patrick and says, "So we got this role for you. We want you to play a white supremacist supervillain."
Mate, we live in an age where a character I read about in the 80s exists on the screen. It just still blows my mind. It's like, fucking White Dragon, you having a laugh?
Yeah. And I think Vigilante steals the whole show. Vigilante is so good.
Sure, yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Have you got to the episode yet where he just reels off all those names?
Yes. And that was all improvised, wasn't
Have
it?
a look on YouTube, because there is an extended
does
version
more,
of
doesn't
that
it?
where
Yeah.
he just goes on for it's about 2 or 3 minutes of him just reeling off names.
It's so good. It's so detailed. It's a really good mix of comedy. Eagly's amazing. I love the dramatic scenes as well. Like when you see like John Cena's like when he hits the big emotional moments and he just he's breaking down and crying.
Yep.
And it's just like, I didn't expect this level of drama in a show about a man who dresses up as a murderous patriot.
Yeah. There were some heart-wrenching moments. I was the same. I was like, wait, where did this come from? I wasn't expecting emotions. I wanted hilarity.
Yeah. There's plenty of hilarity in it. It's just really, really good, and it's a testament to like the excellence that James Gunn can put into the world, because obviously this, along with the Suicide Squad, this was kind of his pet project, wasn't it? And I think they did the two of them at the same time.
Just after, I think, but yeah, he's I think they've been given the go ahead for season 2, which he has said he's gonna direct every episode. So rather than just being the one-off director,
There's one episode in this one.
Yeah, writer and producer, like he is taking full control of the next series.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks great, sounds great. Everyone puts in really stellar performances. But yeah, I mean, the Vigilante does steal the show. He's so funny. And it's not even necessarily the things that he says. He's just got this really kind of derpy, slightly insane look in his eyes.
That works for this
Which is just
episode as
perfect.
well. Sidekick.
But the main thing I want to talk about, Oodles, I've been reading another book now that I've finished, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. This one is right up your street, okay?
Oh, right.
Okay, so
Blurb
it's
me,
got-
baby, blurb me.
Well, before I read the blurb, I'm just going to give you the concept of playing this book, right? It's got humour.
I like humour.
A little bit science fiction. It's got millennial angst.
Oof.
It's got eco-conservation themes.
Okay.
Vaguely anti-capitalist in places.
Now you got me, baby.
And kaijus.
Ah, fucking hell, I'm in.
You just came.
Yeah, it's the new novel from
Funky Balls of Space Titties, and that would have been really in.
No, it's the new novel from one of my favourite authors, from John Scalzi. It's called The Kaiju Preservation Society.
Shit, yeah.
I'll read you the blurb here. When COVID-19 sweeps through New York City, Jamie Gray is stuck in a dead-end driver for a food delivery app. That is, until Jamie makes a delivery to an old acquaintance, Tom, who works at what he calls a quote-unquote animal rights organisation. Tom's team needs a last-minute grunt to handle things on their next field visit. Jamie, eager to do anything, immediately signs on. What Tom doesn't tell Jamie is that the animals that his team care for are not here on Earth, not our Earth at least. In an alternate dimension, massive dinosaur-like creatures named Kaiju roam a warm, human-free world. They're the universe's largest and most dangerous panda, and they're in trouble. It's not just the Kaiju Preservation Society who have found their way to the alternate world. Others have too, and their carelessness could cause millions back on our Earth to die. It tells you pretty much everything about it.
What does that remind me? It reminds me of another book, but it's not kaijus, it's demons. But that sounds fucking great.
It is. It's really funny. It's John Scalzi, in his own words, back to his usual bullshit.
I like a bit Scalzi.
Yeah, he just finished his Interdependency trilogy, which were like proper hard sci-fi ones.
Yeah.
And this one's back to first-person, humorous bullshit, back-and-forth dialogue with gags in it, like something out of a Futurama episode. And it's just such a crazy concept, and he manages to make it all make relative sense.
Good.
The characters are a little thin, but they get the job done for what they're supposed to be. Descriptions of the kaijus and the kaiju fights are great. There is a scene quite early in the book where this preservation society, they've cooked up some kaiju pheromones, and they're trying to get two of the kaiju to mate, and the whole sequence is hilarious. And the best part is that the names that they give them, they're not giving them like Godzilla, Mothra, that kind of name for them. One of them's called Betsy. the two that they're trying to get to mate are Edward and Bella.
That's like a Rampage. Remember Rampage?
I remember Rampage. You get descriptions of the fact that, if they go down onto the jungle floor, everything wants to kill them.
Yeah.
But the things to be wary of are the kaiju's parasites, which are bigger than humans.
Oh, like Cloverfield.
Yeah, a little bit like Cloverfield.
Ooh.
It's taken all like the kind of the stuff around kind of kaiju and big monster movies and all the kind of dimension hopping sci-fi tropes and putting them into one place in a really funny and easy to read package. It's only like 250 pages.
Fucking hell.
It's a short book. It goes on at a really fast clip. It's full of swear words. It's full of gags. There is a constant thing. The whole job that Jamie's been brought in to do is to be a grunt to move things around. And so when the job's been described to him, it says, so you're going to carry things from place to place. So he says, I lift things. He said, yes. And that becomes a recurring thing. Every time someone asks him to do something outside his job description, he just stands there going, I lift things. And it's almost like he's a simpleton. And it's fucking brilliant. It's only just come out. It came out like the 17th of March.
It was recommended to me on Kindle.
Yeah, get it. It's
It
really,
knows what
really good.
I like.
It's really up your street, Oodles, because, like I said, it's got kaijus in it and a lot of swearing and anti-capitalist left-wing politics.
Fuck!
But I will say, it's really weird to read a book that starts off with the COVID-19 pandemic. It is so weird to read those words in a novel.
I read a book last week that was at the end of the novel. There was reports that there was a flu coming from China, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
get out of there.
Yeah, it's starting to get into media now, isn't it? It's so funny, like sort of reading about it in hindsight as well. Oof.
Well, yeah, because the book starts before Jamie ends up working for Food Mood, which is the name of this app that he's working for. It starts off like in the February of 2020, so it's like there is a line of dialogue, and it says, "Have you heard about this COVID-19 thing coming in from China?" And oh yeah, we'll lock down for a couple of weeks. We'll try and do something about it. It's just like, oh, that
Famously,
aged like milk.
I said that as well.
Yeah, but it's a really good book. It's really funny, and it's the opposite of hard sci-fi. This is kind of like pulp sci-fi. So it's super easy to read and well worth time. And I like Scalzi's individual books. Like, I mean, I love his like the Old Man's War series and the Interdependency series.
Classics.
But I also really love like Fuzzy Nation, Red Shirts, like his individual one-off books. They're usually really, really funny. And especially with this one, I didn't realize it because John Scalzi is about 52 now, I think.
Yeah.
He writes millennials really well. Like,
does he have kids? I'm sure he has kids. I'm sure his son's an author.
No, his daughter's an author.
That's it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got a couple of kids, and they're both kind of into the media. But
don't be saying, Dad, Kaiju's are big this year. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, he's a really lovely bloke. I've followed him on Twitter for ages, and I've chatted to him a couple of times on Twitter, and he is a lovely bloke, and he's just got such a wry sense of humour. So, go check out the Kaiju Preservation Society. It's a great book.
Gonna do it. Excellent. Thank you very much. Stig, you've been doing in your little blurred world behind you?
A fair bit, actually, this week, considering other things that have been going on. I had a bit of a musical week in terms of films. I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time.
One of my all-time favourites.
It's so
I hope
good.
you liked it.
It's so weird, but so good. Tim Curry is just an absolute blast in that. He's having such a good time in that role, isn't he? Like, some of the stuff makes absolutely no sense, and you can only pick up on it. Like that, like the biker. It's like, unless you're kind of listening to the conversations and some of the lyrics in some of the songs, that bit just comes out of nowhere.
Meatloaf turns up.
Yeah, Meatloaf just turns up, has a good old song.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, and it goes. But other than that, the songs are great. The aesthetics, the look, and everything is just so wonderful. Really,
it's so sexy. Such a sexy film.
I imagine Middle America in the 70s had
the Bandit
had a bit of a meltdown with that one.
Yeah, it was put into the before Video Nasties were a thing. It was put into that kind of category.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to ruin everybody.
I do know that
in England for a while as well, so not just America.
In South Africa as well, that's banned, yeah. So
England banned it for a while. And the stage show, I've seen that twice now, and yes, I have got photos of me dressed up as Frankenfurter, but that's for the OnlyFans only.
So was this your first experience of it? Had you never seen the show or the film before at all?
No, I obviously know Time Warp, the song.
Yeah.
And there was another song as well I'd heard on there. Can't remember which one it was now.
Sweet Transvestite, it's gotta be.
No, it wasn't that one actually. It was someone else. Wow. But yeah, I'd seen obviously pictures of him dressed up like that and stuff. I've seen the pictures and stuff, but I'd never actually watched the musical in full before.
So special.
Go see the show. It's so much fun. If you get the chance, just go see it.
They will drag you up off your seat as well.
You just sing it. You sing along. Everyone has a whale of a time. The thing is, I find with Rocky Horror is when it's a show, it's split into the two halves, and the first half is really upbeat and fun, and time warp, blah blah blah. Then go off to get a drink at the intermission. You come back, and it's all. The second half is weird. Like
it's science fiction double feature.
Just sex.
You've got to remember that.
It is
2 different films.
Do you know what? I never thought about it like that, but you're completely
they tell
right.
you in the song.
I know. Why did I not put that together?
I don't know.
It all makes sense now.
Come on.
Yeah, the reason I kind of watched that was because I wanted to watch the new West Side Story, and it was too late. I was like, I can't.
That's really good though.
It's nearly 3 hours long. It's too late. I was like, what else have I got? I was like, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think that's also on Disney Plus.
It's like a 90-minute.
It's 90 minutes. I was that'll do. Perfect. So, and then I watched West Side Story the next night. So that was the next musical I watched. In my opinion, some people might drag me over the coals for this. It's better in every single way than the original.
Miles better. Thank you for that justification. I said
the original is seen as an absolute classic, and everyone says, "Oh, it's absolutely amazing." I thought it was fine. There are things about it that I really liked. I think it does.
It's problematic.
Really, yeah, but it's really pulls itself away from the stage show. Like it makes itself into a film.
Yes,
it isn't like some musicals where it just feels like you're watching an adaptation of a stage show.
Yeah,
but it is 60s. It's very 60s. And I think Spielberg has done an excellent job with updating that. And yet the era that it's set in is still set back in the 60s in Spielberg's version. But he just makes it feel a bit more realistic, as realistic as you can get with people singing and dancing. Like the 60s version is that they're all kind of fighting. with each other, whereas
Instead
Spielberg
of knives, it's pointing fingers.
Spielberg's made it feel more like a proper, rivalry and fights and things going on. I also think that it looks a million bucks, and obviously because it's Spielberg, it's going to have a lot of budget in it. I just think everything about it. I think the dance numbers, I think the singing and the acting is all better. I believed in the central love story a hell of a lot more in this version. Their chemistry is so much better than it is in the original, and it goes out its way as well to kind of give you more of a backstory and bring you into the story more. Whereas the original, it kind of moves on from set piece, and this actually fills in the gaps a bit better than that does. I don't know whether that's Spielberg adding scenes in or whether he just decided to use scenes that the original didn't use. But I think it's better. I really do think it's much better.
I think it's loads better. I think it's for me, as musicals go, because I rate musicals a lot different to normal films. It's a proper, solid 8, 9 out of 10 musical.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good.
And it's been nominated, obviously, for a bunch of Oscars. And I think Ariana DeBose is probably going to win Best Supporting Actress.
Probably.
Yeah, because she's really great in that. And then the last musical I watched was Sing 2. Kids wanted to watch Sing 2, so we watched
I went to
Sing
cinema
2.
to see it. It's so
really good.
It's so good.
Yeah, really good. Much better than the first one. I like the first one, but this one's really good.
Yeah.
Some fun songs.
It's my favourite film with Bono in it.
Yeah, surprisingly, Bono is one of the main characters, and
he's not annoying.
Yeah, and the use of U2 songs is pretty well in it. So yeah, I for whatever reason just had a bit of a good old musical week. But the main thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, I wanted to put Sing 2 on the show notes. It doesn't matter though.
No. I've got something bigger to talk about.
Whoa!
Is the Halo TV series?
Uh-oh.
So you will have to VPN your way to get this, because as with everything seems to be, they keep launching it in America on these streaming services that the UK does not have yet. We have no idea when it's coming. Apparently Paramount Plus might be in the summer.
Well, Paramount Plus is supposed to be Q3 this year, but I think the Halo TV series, I think it's going to Sky. So I think it's like Sky Atlantic.
Sky Atlantic, yeah, that's what I read.
Well, why can't they just release it at the same time? It's just
because dicks.
Yeah, there you go, dicks. Because it's just stupid. Anyway,
again, same problem with Peacemaker, because that came out last year in the States and it's only just hit streaming services over here.
Yeah. But at least the good thing about
I literally had to go to America to watch Peacemaker.
The good thing about Peacemaker is that you got it all in one go, which was quite nice. At least you've had to wait, but here it is in one go. You can watch.
You can use that VPN trial perfectly.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. I know it's come under a bit of criticism for things. There are things to criticize about it, specifically the way it looks. It looks a bit weird when you compare it against stuff like The Expanse, or I think stuff like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad has set a precedent for how shows should look now. If you want a cinematic feel, which something like Halo should have, it needs to feel cinematic. It does not need to feel like a CW DC show, which is kind of what it feels like. They've put a shitload of money into this, like the character designs, the costumes, the sets, and everything. Shitload of money. Master Chief looks great. All the Spartans look great. All the supporting characters look really great. But then you've just got this weird filter on kind of that just makes it look a bit like a YouTube project. And I don't know why they've gone for that look.
All the clips and screenshots I've seen, it reminds me of when Firefly came out, and I'm not talking about like the filter for it, because the vaguely desert filter of what I've seen of it, but it's got that look of like a 2003 sci-fi show.
It's too clean.
It's too clean, not grubby enough.
Yeah,
it looks like Super Sentai or Power Rangers.
It should.
It does, yeah.
Have
exactly what it looks like, and I've seen them all. Trust me.
It should have that Expanse kind of look to it, really, if you're going for this sci-fi look. I don't know why they've made it look like that, but on the plus side, I think a lot of the other CGI is really good. There's a few dodgy bits, but I think that the Covenant all look great, the Elites look great, and it is brutal as fuck. I never expected it to be like this, but this TV show does a better job of showing how brutal and awful the Elites and the Covenant are than the games ever did, in my opinion. because in the games you were obviously playing as Master Chief and you just blast your way through them.
There were nothing, were there?
They were nothing, yeah. They're just cannon fodder. Whereas this show how massive they are. They tower above the humans and they just rip their way through the humans. There's a big, massive set piece at the beginning, which is really well done. And the elites come and attack this base full of all these humans, and they just wipe them out. They just fuck them up. And there's head pops. They're getting stabbed by the energy swords.
Teabagging?
No teabagging
Yet.
Yeah, but there's, I didn't expect it to go that far. I've been told that it is quite full on, but it is really full on. Like it shows the horrors of kind of what the Covenant are willing to do. They just don't give a shit. And also the Spartans, it's really because it does a really good, effective job of showing how awesome the Spartans are. Like when they arrive, they're just kick ass, just like you are in the game.
They're really tall.
Oh yeah, they're massive. Yeah, so they're all massive. So it does a good job of showing the Covenant, the elites. It does a good job of showing the Spartans. It's its own thing. Don't expect to go into it thinking it's going to take any lore from Halo. It is taking characters, borrowing stuff, and making its own lore, which is fine. I have no problem with that. The voice in the trailers, when I heard his voice, I was like, ugh, don't like that.
It's the leprechaun from American Gods, isn't it? What's his name?
Yeah.
Pablo Schreiber.
Schreiber, yeah, that's the guy.
He's
good in American Gods.
Too hung up on the original voice for the game.
Yeah.
It's Steve Downes, is it?
Yep.
But do you know what? The more he talks, the more you get used to it. The more it's like it's not a thing. He sounds good. I think it was just in isolation in those trailers. It was like, oh, that's not Master Chief. I don't like that. But the more you actually watch the show, you listen to him talk, fine. He sounds fine. And that's it, really. I was quite happy with it. Like, it has its issues. Some of the acting from some of the people isn't great, but I'll carry on watching it to see where it goes. I'm going to spoil one thing. It happens in episode 1. It's been talked about. The helmet comes off.
Oh no!
In episode 1.
Got ginger hair?
No.
Hey.
No, but he does in American Gods. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, but your ginger hair's fake.
My ginger hair's fake.
It's weird. I think people may be getting a bit too hung up on it. I don't really like it. It's because I'm used to not seeing his face. It
just scares me like Sylvester Stallone in Dread.
Yeah, I think it can work without seeing his face. I think if they were going to do it, they shouldn't have done it in episode 1, but the reason they do it makes perfect sense. So, narratively speaking, it makes sense to why he does it. But I did see this tweet, which I thought was really well. Like it said, he needed to do it, in my opinion. I'm not a Halo fan, so I'm obviously coming at it from a different place. But for this story to work in this format, I think he needs to be humanized a lot. I don't think it would have made it to episode 2 without that choice.
Wow.
So people who aren't fans of Halo think it's the right decision. And at the end of the day, they're not just catering for fans of Halo. They are catering for other people. They want other people to come and watch their big, huge new sci-fi show. So I think fans will maybe moan about it, but still return because it's Halo. People who aren't bothered about Halo don't give a shit. Oh, it's just a guy in a suit. He took his helmet off. Fine. So yeah, it looks rough in places, but it was enjoyable enough. It's a 7 out of 10 show so far based on the pilot, but I'm happy enough to carry on, see where it goes.
Is it just the first episode you've seen, is it?
Yeah, it's the only one that's out. So,
dude, I've watched.
I've watched doing
worse,
week by week, are they?
I've watched worse shows that's less than 7 out of 10s and gone all the way.
Yeah,
through.
I've watched worse and carried on. With
It's like that's not bad at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Excellent. Candy, what you been doing?
I've been doing everything this week as well. I think I mentioned it probably in the Patreon section that I went to see, or I was going to see a band called Wardruna on last Sunday. So I went to see them.
It sounds like you did.
So if you don't know who they are, they're a Norwegian. I would say probably a folk music group formed by members of the black metal band Gorgoroth. This is not black metal at all. I had a look on how exactly to describe it by what it said on Wikipedia. So they're dedicated to creating musical renditions of Norse cultural and esoteric traditions and make significant use of Nordic historical and traditional instruments, including deer hide, frame drums, flutes, not even going to try and say that, mouth harp, goat horn, and non-traditional instruments and other sources of sounds like trees, rocks, water, torches, that kind of thing.
Not a vegan-friendly show.
It is absolutely not. But it's such an incredible experience. It's not like any other gig I've been to before, because you're actually there to listen to the music. You could literally hear a pin drop. You know, if you wanted to ask your friend if they wanted a drink, you'd have to kind of wait till everyone was cheering between the songs and everything.
I couldn't imagine seeing band members from Gorgoroth and sitting down. I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a stand. Well, I was in the pit, so we were stood up, but it's
in the folk pit.
In the folk pit, exactly. There was no crowd surfing. People just kind of stood transfixed, or there was just like some sort of melodic swaying. But yeah, it was brilliant.
That's so cool.
But I did bring something back from the gig, and it wasn't an overpriced t-shirt. It was a lurgy. So because of that, I've been off work, and I managed to catch up on a couple of different shows that I've been meaning to catch up on for a while. So Peacemaker was one of them, and Gadget summed it up perfectly for me. I think it was probably a little bit different to what I expected, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. And there was a couple of standout moments as well that I won't get into because it will be a spoiler, but I'll probably mention it in a couple of weeks once people have kind of caught up with it. Finished Arcane as well. Like it's been said before, it's so much better than it has any right to be. The animation in that show is just absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it, and I know it's super stylized, but I think it's probably the best animation I've ever seen in a TV show. Banging soundtrack as well, and the story is just lush.
Yeah.
And I've never played. Yeah, I've never played
really
any
good.
League games.
I've played 3. Remember?
Yeah.
There's just some wonderful standout moments in that show as well that just pull you in. Like even episode 3, the end of episode 3 is fucking incredible.
Oh my god!
And then the bridge scene as well.
Yep.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
You need to get on. If anyone's listening and they're not into League of Legends, none of us here are into League of Legends.
Don't give a shit. It has
Yeah,
nothing to
I
do with
went
that.
completely blind.
Yeah,
Watch
other
that
than
show.
borrowing some of the characters, you
Yeah.
do not need to know anything about
You're doing
it.
yourself a disservice not watching it, in my opinion.
I need there to be less good shit out there to watch because I still need to see Arcane.
There is a
I'm
lot
desperate
of good
to see
shit.
it, but it's just people keep adding things to
It's
that.
the same. Games, books, films,
Yeah.
TV
Good
shows.
shit is
I
good,
don't have
innit?
enough time to do all this.
You want to get yourself the flu? Get yourself some
We
time
need to
off.
I was saying, if
I've got
it
the-
wasn't this like
the
8
big
hours
flu,
a day
mate.
that I'm wasting.
Let's
with
just
work.
cancel the podcast. We'll stop doing it. Come on, this is perfect time to just watching good shit. Done. It's over.
Absolutely. But
In fact,
yeah,
no,
I
let's
actually
continue.
had a couple of tear-jerking moments as well, so it's a bit of a shocker. What else have I done? Oh, I watched Bad Vegan, which was suggested to me by Gucci Gang Potato. And this is another Netflix documentary kind of in the style of Tinder Swindler. So this one's kind of surrounding a businesswoman and chef called Sama Mangalis. And she took on this vegan restaurant in New York and actually made an absolute roaring success of it. You know, this was kind of before its time, kind of before the vegan kind of restaurants came into the light, and it was a real sort of dining experience. And this was, I think, about 10 years ago. And, you know, constant celebrities, the whole shebang, did really, really well. Now, this restaurant, she bought it from somebody. She bought it from a friend, and it did come with a debt of $2 million, which seems like a huge debt, but actually, because of its success as a kind of going concern, and just because of the location of it in New York, it wasn't a huge issue, really, but enough to worry the new owner a little bit into probably making the decisions that she did. So one of the regulars at her restaurant was Alec Baldwin, and she got quite sort of friendly with him. And it was through him she met somebody on Twitter that he was obviously friends with. And they sort of started hooking up, and he posed himself as a wealthy kind of guy kind of shady sort of job that he didn't really want to talk about. You know, the classic red flags. Although there was evidence to kind of back up his story, because he was friends with Alec Baldwin. They've been backing and forthing on Twitter. And this is where the kind of Tinder swindler bit kind of kicks in. So this guy who's managed to convince everyone he's called Shane Fox, although that's actually not actually his real name, says he's working as in Black Ops. He can't talk about his job, so manages to gaslight her into sending him money. Takes it all out of the business. She doesn't pay the employees. It all going. The employees stage a couple of walkouts. The restaurant gets shut down, and manage to find investors to bring it back, and all just an absolute shit show, basically. And now the way he kind of manipulates her into getting money is completely bizarre, and I don't know how anyone would fall for it if they were in their right minds. And
I'll see if I fall for it, 'cause I fall for things.
Well, so I won't go into it because it's the real like cherry on top of the what the fuck cake. But one of the things he tells her is that he can make her dog become immortal.
I've fallen for it.
Oh no!
I'm in. Get me his number now.
Oh, I can get you the numbers of about 10 different guys.
This is why you're not allowed technology oodles. Like people with those scam emails come in there. The amount of Nigerian princes you've sent money to.
I'm married to half of them. I'm a bigamist in some countries.
Oh God. So yeah, sure enough. But I think that, you know, the way that he kind of wriggles into her life is she was obviously feeling quite particularly sort of lonely and vulnerable. I think she'd had a recent-ish kind of breakup, and she adopted this dog, and the dog was obviously the light of her life, so he kind of wriggled in that way. I know.
It's so bad.
But she wanted to believe it so much.
I can just imagine, like, we're going to put your dog in freezer. It'll never die. It'll never die.
There wasn't even any freezers involved.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that's worth watch. I think it's maybe 4 or 5 hour-long episodes. So nice little short one to catch up on. And the next one, which is the book I was talking about earlier, is one by my favourite author, Peter Clines, who has previously written 14 and The Dispatcher I've talked about before, and Paradox Bound, and many, many other fun sci-fi novels. He has a tendency of writing, and particularly the novels that I enjoy that he's written are the ones that are sort of slow burners throughout most of the novel, and then
he likes to waffle, doesn't he?
He likes to waffle. You say waffle, I say slow burn, and then the final scene will just be absolute chaos. And this kind of follows that trend. It's what I got was strong kind of Stranger Things / Last of Us vibes.
Nice.
So the main the short synopsis is basically this kind of retired military man trying to live out the rest of his life, slowly sinking into a bottle of whiskey, basically, and just fizzling away, shall we say. This little girl walks into the bar, says that she's been sent by somebody to find him because he can save her. And it transpires, it seems as if she's been talking to a ghost or somebody that he knew from his past life as in the military, who've actually passed away. So they go on this kind of runaway sort of adventure to get away from the people that are trying to do experiments on her.
Sounds like the Da Vinci Code. I'm getting red flags.
No red flags. Nothing like that. It's fine. It's possibly not the most original idea for a book, but that doesn't make it any less fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I do with all Peter Clines books. They're just nice, easy reads. I enjoy things on a much more superficial level than Gadget, I think. So I tend to not read too deeply.
Shots fired. You know he's an author.
What I mean is that
superficial author Gadget.
No. What I mean is I don't dig too deeply into things. I don't have the brain capacity to
you can just
sometimes
skip
read
past it.
subtext. I just see straight past it. I see the surface level. I see the things written.
That's how I play games.
I don't see things between the lines. I wish I did. And Kaiju, I didn't mean that as an insult. I meant it as an insult towards me. It did, didn't it?
Caught me by surprise, that one.
That possibly didn't come out the way I intended. But
Kaiju
yeah, no.
Just sit and stare at the sky, whatever he's doing.
What?
Look at the sky boxes.
But yeah, no, really enjoyed it, and I listened to it the way there and the way back from Cambridge, and it kept me company on my drive. And yeah, nice little book, nice little one shot, one and done. And that was my week.
Good. That's a good week. That's a good week. Better than my week. So, I'm nothing bad. That's why it's better. Very mundane week, to be fair. Listeners will be pleased to know that I am done with Elden Ring now. The chat is over. The discourse is over. It's an old game. Done. Platinumed. Can I have a round of applause for me platinum it? I'll do it myself. I don't even give a fuck. I'm proud of myself. 118 hours it took me to platinum that, which is a bit long because a lot of people are doing about 60, 70 hours. But no save scumming. I'm not that kind of guy. That's done. I've been doing a lot.
So when you emerged from your bedroom then and you saw that there are these other people living in the same space as you, how did you greet the moment?
I went, hello.
Oh, you prattling Pete.
Rolled around and
exactly
swiped at them with a sword. Prepared for boss battle.
Dodge roll down the stairs.
Yeah, you should see me parrying all my family. But yeah, I've done that. I'm still playing the PvP, the Fight Club stuff. I'm really fucking good at that, which is very rare for me to engage in any kind of multiplayer. You know that, Gadget, but
oh yeah,
I'm really enjoying being a blood god, basically. But the main thing I've done, the main thing I want to talk about this week is another computer game. Ooh, what a nerd. It's a game by Pippin Games. Who's Pippin Games, I hear you ask? Well, this game's called Wife Quest. Yes, you heard that right. Wife Quest.
This is another Becky
Stick just
situation.
dropped his head there, listeners.
Come on. Stay in the room, guys. So it's a 2D kind of Metroidvania, more like your Wonder Boys and your Alex Kidd type games. You know what I mean? Just your 2D. But it's got a bit of a story to it. It's a low price of £5, but I received a code from a friend. Wink, wink. No one will find out who. My uncle works at Nintendo, basically. Anyway, so you play as Mia, whom, after living a humble life on a farm, her betrothed husbando, named Fernando, see what I'm saying? And it turns out that everyone in the world wants to shag Fernando. I know it sounds weird, but it does. Everyone wants to shag Fernando. He's a lovely little...
Oh, Fernando.
He's a lovely little anime boy. And 3 sexy art girls try to woo Fernando. Because basically... I need to be really... how I describe this. So, Mia, the character you play as, is flat-chested, right? In the boob area. All the enemies and all the people that want to marry Fernando aren't flat-chested. And that's the story of the game, basically. They steal Fernando, these sexy, boobalicious monsters and orcs and stuff, because they all fancy him. Like I said, the evil, ample-breasted Empress Morgana, a bit of a goth babe. She steals Fernando. While Fernando and Mia are asleep. This is all in the first cutscene. It's so good. And she's almost getting away with it, but she stumps her toe on the door and screams. So Mia wakes up and she's like, "Why are you taking my husbando, Fernando?" and she's like, "Fucking you, shut up, you're flat-chested." And in her words, "Bitch," that's what she says. And she's like, "What are you coming at me for having flat chests and stuff like that?" Because they've all got big boobies. By the way, this is in like an anime art style, as you can imagine. And then you go on a romp, basically, a 2D Metroidvania style romp to go and try and find your husbando Fernando. It's fucking good. It's good. It's weird. It's got really good music. It's got good like the controls are quite responsive. It's very old school, very Sega Mega Drive kind of controls and stuff. You unlock like a magic shield to deflect. But you know what I'm saying, don't you? You know how I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not like Castlevania where it's deep RPG. It's not. It's just you get this new item. There you go. Use that new item for the next few levels. There's a weird choking mechanic on it.
I've just seen that. I'm on the Steam page, and I've literally just seen it. So, yeah, Mia knocks down one of these witch ladies, and they're kind of like lying on the floor. And then she jumps on the back, and the camera zooms in, and as she chokes her from behind
Sexually.
and it's
And there's basically there's no there's no game mechanic reason for this. All you do is you unlock that choking animation to watch in the little extras, and like every new enemy's got a different like kind of choking animation. There's one where you pull someone's tail off. There's one where you're gripping her by the throat, and there's one where you're like grabbing her by the waist, and it's just all like lesbo erotic. And do you know what? It's a really good game, guys. It's a really good game.
Do you know what I've just realised is for the last
I'm a pervert.
month? No, but I knew that. For the last 3 months, I've been wondering why I've been advertised werewolf and vampire porn constantly on Facebook, and now I know why. It's because of you.
It's because of me. Yeah. It's just a really good... Let me be real. I don't understand why it's so sexual. Why it's not.
I'm just going to share on screen because I've just gotten back to it on the Steam page.
For the viewers at home, watch this.
For the viewers at home, just the choking mechanic which comes up.
Yeah, it's so good.
This.
She jumps on her ass. Yep. Oh. It's so good.
A good pound.
It is a good pound, but there's more pounds. There's more different. The bosses are really good. The platforming's tight. It looks like Celeste, but it's more like 50 Shades of Grey.
I do also have to point out the Steam tags for this one are 2D platformer, adventure, 2D, and female protagonist.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's mainly women throughout the whole game, apart from Fernando the husbando. But they all want to shag him, and it's like they kiss him without his
husband thieves
permission and stuff. And he's like, "Stop kissing me, everyone!" Because if you look at all the baddies, they're all sexy.
Oh, he's been like, "Oh no, stop kissing me! Oh no, this is terrible."
There's one like if you look at obviously Mia, she's like very proportioned girl. She's not overly ample
as
like the rest
anime
of them.
girls go.
Yeah, and
look at punishment animations.
It's so good.
This gallery thing also weirds me. Just the way you just pose her around.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just a real game.
It's really good, and it's a £5. It's even less on Steam. Look,
£4.79 on Steam.
If you like the old like I said, Monster and Wonder Boy and stuff like that kind of game, it's of that ilk. And look at all the look at all the positivity on this game. People are loving it.
It is really well rated. It's got a mostly positive.
Apart from that little prude over there. Sigma Tiger doesn't like it, does he?
No. So for the listeners, but I'm just scrolling down the Steam page and at the Steam reviews section.
It's just oh, well, there's a warning, content warning.
Yeah, content warning on it.
This is what I mean. It's like I can understand if you were kind of a persuasion that don't find like sex humor funny. It's not. It's nowhere near as like bad as some things can be. Like it's all like innuendo, apart from the choking. That's just full on. But it's I don't know. There's something about it that I really like. The gameplay's got, and I'm laughing at the dialogue and stuff because it's just stupid. But I think if you want a little bit of a 2D kick, it's not difficult either. That's the thing, because a lot of these type of games make them difficult, don't they? This is not hard.
Yeah,
this is not hard. It's about 10 hours long.
You're saying that one of the negative reviews on it, I'm just going to read a couple of bits of this out because it's fucking funny.
Go on.
Not recommend. He's got 6 hours on record, and this was posted on Christmas Day last year. He says, it's too fucking hard.
What?
It requires grinding the same level over and over again to get the gold, to get the upgrades to stay alive long enough to learn the patterns for the bosses.
Does it fall?
It's an anime version of Mega Man, except Mega Man is good. Mega Man's incredibly anime.
Yeah, of course it fucking is. Of course it is. But yeah, he plays a little bit. I can see the Mega Man parallels. It's nowhere near as difficult as Mega Man.
It's such a surreal
I know it sounds
game.
stupid from a guy coming from, so I've just platinumed Elden Ring and everyone's saying it's the hardest game ever. I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying it's easy because I'm a fucking elite gamer. I'm saying it's just easy. The checkpoints are really good. You die, you go straight back to... You know what I mean? It's fucking hard. It's not hard. It's just nice. It's just fun. And like I said, we were joking about it on the biggies. We're like, oh, Aloy, she's not got big enough tits and stuff like that. That's what this game's doing. They're saying, oh, Mia's not got big enough tits. She can't be married to Fernando. And Fernando's like, I don't give a fuck about her tits. I love her. And they're like, come here, give me a kiss, Fernando, these demon girls. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I really like it. It's just fun. I don't know.
It's right
if
up
it's a
your
good
street. It's
Metacritic score or anything like that. I don't care. It's a 5. Well, it didn't cost me a 5, but it's just good, man. Get it played. Get it played. It's on Switch now. That's why it's been on Steam a while. But yeah, it's definitely right up my sleeve.
Oh yeah,
Wife Quest. Get it played. It's better than Celeste. I'm joking. It's not. I'm joking. I am joking. But yeah.
you don't want the Celeste stands coming to knock you out.
No, I love Celeste. But yeah, it's just...
They'll throw strawberries at you.
Yeah, it's just really good. Really fun 16-bit and all that. Nice bit of choking. Everyone likes to be choked. Anyway, let's move on to the main topic. I believe it's a Stig episode. It's a Stig episode, guys. Everyone loves a Stig episode.
It is.
Take away,
It's
Stig.
my choice this week, and we are going to be talking about a person's assistant or close associated, especially one who has less authority than that person. We are, of course, talking about sidekicks. We're going to discuss our favourite sidekicks and our least favourite sidekicks. And as with these episodes, it's my choice. So I will go first. I will go with one of my favourite sidekicks, and that is Samwise Gamgee. Why is Samwise Gamgee an amazing sidekick? Because he is the...
There it is. I was waiting for someone to do West Country.
Because he is the hero, isn't he? When
He absolutely
when all
is.
is said and done, that man is the reason why
You save Middle-earth.
Middle-earth wins. Without Sam, the man, elves, dwarves, everyone falls under Saruman. They lose without him. He is there every step of the way to help Frodo, to push him on, to literally carry him when he needs it. And
Now you're going off the films here, aren't
I'm going off the films. I've never read the books.
Because in the books it's slightly different.
And we're going to go with the films. This is the
Basically,
film
Frodo's
version.
not so much of an addict in the books because that's what he's in the films.
But yeah, if you want loyalty, is there any sidekick that's as loyal as Sam in those films? Can
He's
you
up
think
there,
of
mate.
another
He's
one?
up
He's
there.
up there. My original choice for this originally was going to be Chewbacca, and Chewbacca's loyal. It's as loyal as it comes when it comes to Han in the Star Wars saga. But then that kind of led me on to wanting to talk about Sam, because
The thing with Chewbacca is we don't know if he's got problematic language. We don't know if he's an horrible bastard.
it
Could
might be.
We
Yeah.
don't speak Wookiee, do we?
No, that's the fun thing
Could be
about
awful.
Chewbacca is that you don't actually know what he says. You just kind of have to go with what Han's reactions.
Yeah, like
So
an
what he's
Empire
saying
was
is-
like, okay, Chewie, yeah. He might have been like, fuck these fucking knobheads.
Yeah,
That'd be even
Just
better.
full on racism.
Yeah, you could
full on
racism all the
I
time.
hate humans. Could be an horrible bastard.
but yeah, Sam he goes along with Frodo's quest. He to the point where he makes a point of even saying, "This is the furthest I've ever been out of the Shire." Like
That's one of my favourite bits on the first
Yeah.
film.
like he's willing to just sacrifice everything. All he wants really is to live a life with Rose and nothing else. And yet his loyalty,
been dropping no eaves.
friendship to Frodo, he's willing to go on this journey with him to help him along.
And he's just his gardener.
Yeah, and to the point where end of the first film, he's willing to literally risk his life to swim to him to help him. Frodo's telling him to go back, and he's like, "Nope, I will not go back." Again, he nearly kills himself trying to make sure, "No, I'm going with you, and I'm with you every step of the way." Every time there's a roadblock in there, when Gollum turns up and tries to obviously turn Frodo against him, he has that one moment where he turns back and then obviously realizes what Gollum's done. He's like, "Nah, fuck this. I'm heading back there. I've got to help. I've got to help Frodo out on this." And yeah, without Sam, Frodo is probably killed multiple times. So he's the one that rescues Frodo from Shelob.
Yep.
He's the one that carries Frodo into Mount Doom. I can't carry the ring, but I will carry you.
Yep.
And and he's just that support that Frodo needs. Without him, Frodo fails this mission.
In the films, like, Sam is literally completing the mission. He doesn't know Frodo's still alive in the Shelob bit. He's going to complete the mission. That's how much he cares about saving the world.
Exactly. I think he thinks at that point that he's dead, potentially.
Yeah, he's just going to take the ring and do the job.
Yeah. And obviously Frodo takes that the wrong way, but that's...
Of course he does.
Yeah, but that's not what he's doing. He's there and he's thinking, I'm going to complete Frodo's mission. I'm going to complete this. And
exactly.
He's just an all-around great person, really, isn't he?
I don't think Sam would have ever been tempted by that ring. I think he's got a stronger mind than Frodo.
Yeah.
Pure of heart.
Pure of heart, yeah. I reckon he'd have done that all on his own.
Yeah, he is pure, isn't he? He's one of the purest. He could wield Mjolnir, 100%.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
He is worthy.
I reckon he could.
But yeah, I just love the character. I think he is the perfect... you might not even see him as a sidekick. I think he is. He's kind of... Frodo is seen as the main character, and Sam is there by his side the whole time.
In the books, it's especially, I know, in the books, it's mainly because Frodo's like 59 or 60 or something in the books, and Sam's a lot younger. Like, only just become an adult in Hobbit was like 30, which is what they consider, and he is more of a sidekick character. But I think in Peter Jackson's vision, he has elevated Sam from a bit of a, especially the first two films, he's a sidekick. And then that third one, it's that his arc is better than Frodo's, in my opinion.
He's practically dragging Frodo up to the mountain because Frodo's so weak from the ring.
Yeah. I think Peter Jackson does it better than Tolkien did it. I know that's a strong stance to have, but
I kind of been like looking into things now. So I did read somewhere said that Sam gets a hero's arc in the book, which is cut out from the film. But I think that the way that Peter Jackson obviously does it in the film is that Sam is you do see a hero's arc for him, don't you? You just see him as the kind of lovable, goofy, bumbling friend to the person who literally carries Frodo
Jackson
and the ring on his back
a lot
up the side of a
Tolkien
volcano.
Did.
So
it's so fucking. I think obviously you can't you can't not discuss Sean Astin. You know what I mean?
Oh, his performance is perfect.
Yeah. That's his best role. That's his best role. That's what he's known for. He's done many more things since then, but fuck.
Yeah,
I
didn't know he wasn't English. I didn't know that when I first saw it.
First time I seen him speak with an American accent, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I know he was in Goonies, but I didn't know that was him. I didn't know that was him.
He's in the Lost Boys as well, isn't he?
Yes. I didn't know that was him though. No, he's not in the Lost Boys. That's Corey Feldman or something like that.
I thought he was as well. Could be wrong. Probably am.
He might be, but yeah, I didn't know that was him from Goonies. I'd not put two and two together. I mean, this is what, 2000? I didn't know this shit whenever it came out. But yeah, I think Sean Astin's... He's went like... Because I read Lord of the Rings before I'd seen the book. Before I watched the film, I read that. But when the film came out, I was like, that's a really fucking good Sam. I think Frodo was terribly miscast in them films, but it is what it is.
I think that...
He's too young.
But I think that it's fine with what they did.
It's absolutely fine. Of course it's fine, yeah. That's just a nitpick.
Oh, no, he's not in the Lost Boys.
He's too young, in my opinion.
He's in Toy Soldiers.
Is he the stepdad?
Oh, no, completely different film. Not even that Toy Soldiers. Anyway,
you're thinking of Small Soldiers.
I'm thinking of Small Soldiers, yeah. Yeah, because he didn't do really anything, did he? And then all of a sudden, like, the Lord of the Rings just kind of brought him back into the limelight, and he's
so good. He's the one when he's on screen, you're glued to Sam. Even at like the Rivendell, when the Fellowship's forming, you're just looking at Sam and he's like this. I love Sam. He's got such good energy.
Yeah, he just to start with, he's kind of, especially when he gets there, he kind of seems to be just happy to be there and part of it, doesn't he? And
You've seen the extended version when he gets the light of Galadriel and he's like, no, not the light. He gets the rope, doesn't he? He gets the rope.
He does.
And he's like, just, is that all I'm getting? It's so funny. Everyone else has got daggers and the light of the Galadriel and stuff like that. It's like, he's just got a fucking rope. It's good rope. Saves the day.
It comes in useful.
It fucking does.
Yeah, Sam is my first pick, one of my favourite sidekicks. A true kind of hero of the story and an amazing character. So we'll go Gadget. Who was your favourite sidekick?
So my favourite sidekick, strap in, we're talking Dark Souls here, because I want to talk about Solera of Astora.
Oh, if only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Yeah, so Solera of Astora is a NPC that you meet. Depending on how good you are, you know, you can meet him within the first hour of the game. If you're Biggie, you met him about 16 weeks into the game.
I've unlocked multiplayer.
Yeah, you meet him basically after the second boss of the game. And you have this moment. So the second boss of the game is the Taurus Demon. And for a lot of beginners, it's a pretty hairy fight. Because
it's a gimmicky boss that you don't realise, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a gimmicky boss, but it's this big kind of bull demon thing who's carrying a massive mace, and you fight him on a very narrow battlement. And it's very intimidating unless you know the trick to beating him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do beat him, and you kind of walk down to the next area, you get to the edge of this bridge, and you just see this kind of like spot off the side, like an observation place. And Solera is just standing there, staring at the sun.
It's deliberately lit well as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the brightest parts of the game. Yeah. And you walk down there, and you just start talking to him, and he is the jolliest fellow who all he wants in life is his own son.
Yeah.
S-U-N, not S-O-N.
Yeah, it's not a dad.
Yes. He's looking up at the sun, and he says that line, "Oh, if only I could be so grossly incandescent."
Love it. I've seen that tattoo on somebody's back.
Yeah.
I mean, I weren't that close. I mean, they showed me it.
Yeah. I'm tempted if I ever do end up getting a tattoo is to get a Solera one, because he's the best boy.
The Astara son's brilliant as well. It's so cool.
So Solera appears throughout the game multiple times, and he is you get him as an NPC summon. So if you're struggling with the game, you can bring him in to help you with a boss fight. And he appears around boss fights that are known roadblocks. So first time you get him is the Gargoyles, then you get him for Ornstein and Smo. Then you get him. Where do you get him the next time? The Centipede Demon.
Centipede Demon, and then you get him outside the end.
You
get him out.
Biggie not met him then when he came up against.
He met him, but he just completely ignored him.
So did summon him to help that boss?
Didn't summon him. No,
even though
which is why
people were
it took
telling
6
him
weeks to get through it.
Biggie,
yeah, get Solera.
It's almost as if you're supposed to get Solera for that fight.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because he's such a tanky, cleric-y type. Well, it's not really a cleric, is he? He's more of a incantate. What do they call it on that? Faith.
Yeah. He's a faith build because he casts
tank.
Holy Lightning.
Yeah, faith tank.
And you know what? He is just so jolly and so lovely, and his plotline is so fucking sad.
It's heartbreaking.
Whenever you encounter him, you meet him in Anor Londo before the Ornstein Smo fight, and he's almost hitting on you. Oh, are you staring at me?
He wants to fuck
sorry,
you.
I wasn't thinking that. Yeah, he wants to fuck you so hard.
Does.
Or rather, I think he wants to be fucked.
Yeah.
He's a power bottom. If there were
100% power bottom. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, definitely power bottom. He's probably a bit of a twink under that armor as well.
But some of it comes into the way the writing comes in for Solera, because like I've got some of his quotes here from the wiki. And apparently he says this particular line with just the most lovely joy in his voice. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
If you want, you can wank me off. That's what he means.
I'm trying to find the jolly cooperation line because
we can engage in jolly cooperation.
Engage in jolly cooperation is his way of putting it, and it's become such a meme in the Souls community. You can buy T-shirts with jolly cooperation written on there.
I mean, we're talking about him being a power bottom, but there is there's a community of LGBTQ Souls community where he is like the gay icon. Because
he is an icon.
He is the gay icon of the Souls series. Like he appears in some aspect on all the games, doesn't he? In a reference at least.
Yeah, there's usually a reference. Like in Dark Souls 2, you can get the Astora Knight armor.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls 3, I think you find his helmet somewhere, or his helmet is like lying on the ground somewhere.
Iron helmet, yeah.
Sunlight
spear.
Sunlight spear, and like
he's
his
got his
spells
own
and Elden
secret
Ring.
covenant, hasn't he?
Yeah, and
Sun Bros.
Yeah, the Sun Bros, and it's one of those things. I think it's because it's such a dark and depressing game. Having the idea of like these warriors of sunlight being the good guys, or at least the guys that come in to help you, it's just so uplifting. And he as a character is uplifting. So it's stretching it to call him a sidekick, but like whenever I do play through Dark Souls, like I don't need the NPC summons to play through Dark Souls, but I always summon him. I always do his story because he's a lovely boy, and I always do my best to save him and get him in for the Gwyn fight at the end.
Can you get him for Gaping Dragon as well, I believe?
Yes, you can. That's the other one I was missing. Gaping Dragon, you can get him
Genius.
for. But yeah, and his quest is so worth doing because if you don't fulfill his quest, he doesn't find his sunlight and he goes mad and he tries to kill you. And it's very, very sad.
But as Vartivig will have you believe, that is the good ending because he finds the sunlight maggot.
Yeah, he does, but it drives him insane.
It drives him insane. So, reap what you sow and all that.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, Solaire of Astora, he's a bro. He's a sun bro.
I love him. I love him.
Praise the sun, everybody.
I only literally know of him because of memes.
Yeah, he is such a meme.
He's a great dancer as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Candy, what about you? Who's your favourite?
Sorry, I had to get a fly. So my best sidekick, I'm going with Silent Bob. Probably doesn't need much of an introduction, but I will anyway. So Silent Bob's the best friend to Jay in the duo Jay and Silent Bob, and arguably the brains of the operation, although that's probably not saying too much.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if you've lived through the 90s, Jay and Silent Bob are recurring characters within Kevin Smith's films, or certainly his few Escapism films, and they were introduced in his first film, Clerks, as the drug dealers.
They say Clerks, don't they?
Clerks.
Yeah.
I guess Clerks is law. But they're the two drug dealers that hang around outside the Quick Stop. Unsurprisingly, because of his name, Silent Bob communicates with very few words and often uses gestures and nods to kind of make his point. Although usually sort of once in a film he has this kind of little monologue in which he gets to say sort of everything he wants to, and it usually results in him sort of saving the day with his words. But yeah, other than that,
he does the Shakespeare trope where the buffoon doesn't say much, and at the very end in the last act, boom, saves the day. That's proper old school Shakespeare.
Apart from Dogma, where he just does Indiana Jones reference, throws him off the train.
And I mean, my favourite Silent Bob quote does have to be the sign on the back of the car says "Critters of Hollywood." You dumb fuck.
That's the thing. By the time he actually comes around to speaking, he's so just exasperated with all the bullshittery that's gone on around him. He just
precisely
can't
with
contain
Jay
it.
as well.
Oh yeah,
it's usually his annoyance at Jay.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's a well-known fact, obviously, that Silent Bob's actually played by Kevin Smith, and one of the reasons I chose him as best sidekick is because Kevin Smith is the actual best sidekick to Jay in real life, I think.
He saved his life, man.
Absolutely. If it weren't for his support, he would probably have just succumbed to his struggles with addiction and all sorts. Like, he's really struggled for a long time, and if it weren't for him fighting his corner, I don't think he'd be with us anymore.
Isn't he like 15 years sober now?
I think so, yeah. I think he's been doing pretty well, yeah. He's, thing
is, he's had no slips. That's like...
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that shit.
But they were actually sort of childhood friends as well. Actually, there's parts of the first film where Jay was so sort of self-conscious to act. Like, he didn't have any acting experience. I don't think many of the actors
just tell him to be
did.
himself.
basically, and he apparently struggled to even do that. So when he was told to act as himself, he's like, well, how do I act? So he basically cleared off the rest of the film crew, and they had to film a bunch of scenes, just him and Kevin Smith by themselves in the middle of the night. And
you think Silent Bob comes about from the fact that Jay just talks and talks and talks, and the idea is that he just can't get a word in. Eventually, the character kind of just gives up and thinks, I just can't be bothered.
I mean, that works for the narrative, but the secret is that because Kevin Smith was directing it, and also all the filmography, he didn't want a script to learn. Like Dante from Clerks is Kevin Smith. That's who he's supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? Because he worked in that shop and stuff like that. But he was like, I'll be in this film, but I ain't saying shit. I just thought that the idea was that these two were friends, but one of them never shuts up, so the other one just thought, what's the point? I don't know. Is it Abbott and Costello or something like that? It's from the old school 50s where one of them, Laurel and Hardy type thing, isn't it? Where one of them talks and one of them doesn't, or one of them falls over all the time and one of them doesn't. That kind of C-3PO, R2-D2, that kind of. You know what I mean? He's a big Star Wars fan as well, so it's.
Yeah, I was going to say. I find it hard to believe that was a situation in real life, because if you ever hear Kevin Smith does not shut up at all, ever. He is the king of the podcast as well. God, I can't imagine what it would be like hanging out with those two in real life, because they're both, maybe even Jay is a little bit on the quiet side.
Have you not seen him on Twitch?
Not that much, not in a while.
He doesn't play games that we all like, but he's quite animated.
Oh, he's a Fortnite boy, isn't he?
That man's riddled in ADD. He's riddled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, actually, when it came to filming Mallrats, the production company, basically, they didn't want Jay. They wanted it to replace him with, like, James Vanderbeek or someone.
James Vanderbeek.
Popular 90s.
Who actually turned up in Strikes Back, didn't he?
He did,
that's right, yeah.
He played Jay in Strikes Back.
He did, yeah. He did, You're right. But yeah, Kevin was like, I'm not doing it without Jay.
Didn't Stan Lee say he's one of his... I think there's a quote that Stan Lee said, oh yeah, Jason Mewes is one of the greatest actors of our generation. It's like, what? Obviously, Stan Lee's so cute and kind that I bet it was just his like attitude. He's just like so energetic and so. I bet Stan Lee was just like, fucking hell, this guy's a tornado. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's just so cool. He just has had such granddad energy as well. He's just saying anything just to be nice. That was the first
Stan Lee cameo in Mallrats, wasn't it? Ever.
And I think the last cameo that he had, cameo that Stan Lee had in a Marvel film, he was rehearsing his lines or reading Mallrats or something, wasn't he?
Not quite, but yes, kind of.
Yeah, something along those lines. I can't remember. Well, yeah, I can't remember.
In one of them, he's reading the script to it.
Mallrats.
Yeah.
It's not the last one, but yeah, I think it was the last one he filmed.
Oh, okay. I know it was one of the sort of latter ones.
Yeah, they didn't tell Kevin Smith even. He's like, what?
Oh,
massive
I bet he cried at that.
Imagine being at the cinema for that. That's huge.
But, yeah, so he gets the best psychic award for being the best psychic in real life. Actually, like before I move on, I saw one of Kevin Smith's posts recently within the last couple of weeks, and he goes on these hikes around LA to lose weight and everything.
He looks really well now, though, doesn't he, that man?
Yeah, he does. It's just unstoppable.
Like half of the man he used to be.
Probably less.
Still wears the same clothes that he had, though.
Yep.
Pocket jersey.
Yeah.
But, like, he still wears the clothes he had when he was bigger.
Yeah, it makes him look even smaller.
But yeah, apparently he was going on a hike at night and he was too scared to go out by himself. Because it was sort of after dark in LA, you don't really want to be doing that. No. And he phoned Jason Mewes, saying, can you come walking with me? And he did. But can you imagine if you were just out walking around LA at night, and you just saw Jay and Silent Bob walking around?
No, it's
I can just imagine one of those, I can imagine one of those double take moments, when you look back at what you're drinking, you're like, what? Jay and Silent Bob.
I think Clerks 3's out. It's out this year, isn't it?
It's got to be soon. Because he filmed it.
People have seen it, haven't they? People have seen it.
I don't know, but I know he filmed it about a year ago, and he tends to film things in about.
He usually takes it to
weeks,
Cannes Film Festival, doesn't he? First, it's one of his big traditions.
It's down as out this year, just this 2022.
I really like Clerks 2 as well. A lot of people didn't.
May,
I like the dance scene.
May. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that'll be fun. So yeah, Silent Bob.
Oh, I do love a bit of Silent Bob. Oodles, who is your favourite?
I don't know if you're going to allow this because it's not fake. It's a real person. Are we allowing this? But I'm doing it anyway. Do you know who Tenzing Norgay is?
Nope.
Do you know who Sir Edmund Hillary is?
Yes.
So Sir Edmund Hillary inspired many, many media explorers from Indiana Jones to Nathan Drake. So the first man recorded to climb Everest and survive. He wasn't alone, was he?
No, I do know. I have heard the name before. I just looked it up.
He had his sidekick, Sherpa Tenzing. So a lot of people don't talk about him a lot, but I studied him at school and I've always been obsessed. So Hillary would have never reached the summit of Mount Everest without Norgay at all. So he was born, get ready for this pronunciation, Namgyal Wangdi Nepali. That's his name. Nailed it, didn't I? Nailed it. So he was a Nepali Indian, basically tour guide. Hillary went on to great fame and fortune, as we all know. Sir Edmund, he was from New Zealand as well. He endorsed things like Sears, and he just got massive, didn't he? Everyone's heard of Hillary, and he's inspired a lot of people. But as unknown sidekicks go, I think Sherpa Tenzing he's a fucking hero. So, among whispers in the communities and the people that talk about it, and historians, they reckon that Sherpa Tenzing went up there at least 3 times before Edmund Hillary did to map the course.
People say Edmund Hillary was the first recorded person up there. No, he was the first white person.
That's exactly what it was.
Because the Sherpas of Nepal were already in place when people started going up there.
Yeah.
They've clearly ran up and down that thing repeatedly,
like it was a sport. And and apparently within his tribe and within his village and stuff, Tenzing was the best, the number one. He could do it in a few days and stuff on his own. He was the absolute king of mountaineering. And the fact of the matter is, today, people still use his traditional mountaineering tactics. People that have got K2 and other mountains, Kilimanjaro and all that, they still use the kind of tactics he used then. Even though we've got modern equipment and stuff like that, you still can't beat testing a rock a few times, with a hammer and stuff like that. These classic tactics. And, like, the National Adventuring Award, that's what it used to be called before this, and now, since then, they've now named it the Tenzing Norgay National Adventuring Award. That's how much. But this is what bothers me the most about him. This has only happened in the last 10 years, because we've only just started accepting people of color as these great, and that's what breaks my heart the most, because these photos of him, he's always fucking smiling, he's always having a great time, and apparently he had the most wicked sense of humour. Like Sir Edmund Hillary used to say, he used to fucking fart and stuff, and he used to just be an absolute lad on the mountain. And I just really admire him. And I read a book about him about 2-3 years ago as well. And there's one bit that it's not. I mean, scholars are probably going to come at me because I know scholars listen to this. But there's rumours that as Hillary was up there halfway up, because it took him ages to get up there, asleep in a tent or whatever. Tenzing would go down back to the village to see his wife and come back up and stuff like it's fucking nothing. And it reminds me of is it Kato from is it Green Hornet? Everyone forgets that he's the actual mastermind. He's the one that's really good and does everything. And I'm just so glad that nowadays we can revere these kind of people. The name Sherpa didn't start until Sherpa Tenzing. That's where it came from.
It's nice that they're not forgotten.
Yeah, it's proper nice that they're not forgotten, and there's a shrine on him, and like I say, honorary award. And I feel like he was the first pure sidekick. You know what I mean? Because he inspired a lot of sidekicks as well. You watch these explorer things. You know what I mean? It's same with Uncharted and stuff. Remember Uncharted 2 when he befriends the Sherpa Nathan Drake, and it's a big deal about it. And Indiana Jones, apparently Short Round's really inspired by Sherpas and just a lot of
Short Round really racist.
Yeah, really racist now, but they tried. they fucking tried, didn't they? It's nice to see it. Not the racism, but yeah, I think like the actual term sidekick and stuff like that. I don't know where it stems from, but as soon as Stig were like, we're doing sidekicks, it just, obviously I studied it. It's one of the things I studied. To me, it just stuck out. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not real because it did happen. It's not fictional, but I think you can't talk about it. Talk about sidekicks without bringing him up, because the more ears and eyes for the Sherpas and stuff like that, I think that it's better. It's better for humanity, isn't it? So that's me being deep. Getting deep.
Definitely thinking outside the box there, Eagles. More so than us, anyway. It's just when I come sidekick, it's just fictional characters.
Robin from Batman.
Yeah, just something like that. So, excellent. No, great choice. Well done.
Look him up though. If people listeners have never heard of him and stuff like that, because people don't. Everyone's heard of Sir Edmund Hillary, but look him up. Look him up. Seriously. Interesting.
Right, we're going to move now on to our least favourite. And I'm just going to... I don't have a lot to say in this twat, but I'm just going to play you a little soundtrack just so people know. Hopefully this comes through, Gadget. I apologise if it messes the recording up, but...
Other ones on tools. Oh,
can you hear that? Can you hear that horrible little annoying, awful voice from Snarf from Thundercats?
I fucking hate Snarf.
Awful little annoying creature. You have all these cool as fuck Thundercats in this team.
Sexy.
Yeah, they're sexy. They're built. They're just like
I'm glad you admitted it.
Proper awesome. Yeah, but they are drawn like that, aren't they? They're kind
sexy, man. They are sexy.
They're meant to be drawn like that.
Wasn't Chitara Biggie's sexual awakening?
Yeah. And yet
Lionel was mine.
And who is this just really annoying, awful character?
It's not even evolved like the rest of them.
No,
I was going to say he's a cat that's a pet of cats.
Exactly. But he's meant to
be. It's like your dog having a pet dog.
He's meant to belong to an intelligent race of creatures.
He can barely speak.
Like his Snarf isn't even his real name. So not only did he change it, his real name is Osbert, and he chose the moniker Snarf. So not only did is he annoying, but he chose to have a really annoying name, which he talks and repeats all the time. Snarf,
same as Gollum. It's same as Gollum, isn't it? Gollum's not his name. He just does whatever. He does that basically. He goes, Snarf.
Horrible sound effects, clumsy nature throughout the series. He's like Jar Jar Binks. He's. I reckon that he's like
up there with Jar Jar.
What Lucas looked at and go, oh yeah, I'm going to make a character kids like fucking Snarf. Yeah, because kids love Snarf. Kids love Orko from He-Man.
Yeah.
The difference is Orko obviously has magical powers, so at least he's useful. And Orko is so much better represented in the new He-Man series, in the new Masters of the Universe series. So much better than he ever was beforehand. But yeah, he's meant to be a protector of Lion-O, isn't he? But he's just comic relief, but really shit.
I remember I've got an anecdote of Snarf. So I loved Thundercats as a kid, and I had all the toys and stuff like that. And one Christmas I was like, I need a new Thundercat toy, and I'm directing my mum to this new Lion-O, the new one with the sight beyond sight. You press the back of him, and he said it. You know what I mean? He did get whatever it. What was it? The eye of fucking something or other. I can't remember. Whatever he did, I preferred He-Man, to be honest. But yeah, he did that, and Christmas Day opening up. What was it? It was a fucking 6-inch Snarf. What am I supposed to do with that? You could twist his tail around. That were it.
Did it go Snarf?
Shit. And they had to be like, no, that thing, that fault. Like Stig doesn't do it, but I did back then. It was like, oh yeah, I love it. But I fucking hated it. I was like, oh god, fuck Snarf. I think I put him in the Technodrome just to hide him in there that I had from Turtles. He lives with Krang now.
Why did they do like characters like that? Why did they have to have like these like weird, cowardly, annoying voiced creatures like that?
I think it stems from anime, from the old 70s, 80s anime, because a lot of these shows were hand-drawn and stuff in Japan and Asia and stuff like that, and they always had the shitty little side character that they could sell dolls about, didn't they?
And it's supposed to be intended as like a comedy thing as well.
Comedy
it's supposed
relief.
to be like Snarf is supposed to be the comic relief, and he just fails at every possible juncture.
Yeah, exactly.
To be funny.
It's like, if it's going to be a comic relief, make them funny. Make them like
Did you
not
see
just
the
awful creatures. When he's on screen, it's just like, oh, why? Like, again,
Did
like
you
I said,
see the really
sorry.
dark remake of Thundercats? The really dark remake of Thundercats.
Yeah.
No, there's
You know what they did with Snarf?
kill him.
They didn't put him in it.
It's the best
Yeah,
remake.
there you
Put it
go.
in it.
Like that's
It's
what.
so good.
Again, that's what with Orko in the new one.
They put him into. Didn't they put him into Thundercats Go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's worth it. It's
isn't the new,
they take
isn't
piss
that
out of him.
Thundercats like the new one, like proper
It's like Teen Titans.
Teen
go.
Titans style? Yeah. But yeah, like
It's funny.
The best way to go with a character like that is just kind of like what they did with Orko. If you're going to do like a remake, he is still kind of annoying in a way, but he serves a purpose, and he actually, he's not just stupid comic relief.
There was some backlash from the creator of Thundercats. I forgot his name, and because there were a panel and someone was saying some young chaps going up. It's really good that you've got representation of like people with mental illness and stuff with Snarf. And the creator, seriously, the creator could have turned around and gone, "Yeah, that's what I did." He went, "I didn't. He's just really annoying. He's just a little shit character." He could have bit and gone, "Yeah, that's exactly what I did. He's underdeveloped."
Take the free brownie points.
Yeah, but no, he's just crap.
Fucked it, mate.
Yeah, he's just
Fucked
so crap. Like I said, he is a Snarf, and he calls himself
He's a
Snarf.
fucking Snarf. Yeah.
And there's other characters called like Snarfer and things like that. It's like it's just shit and annoying.
Fucking garbage.
Honestly,
Garbage.
I don't really have loads to say about him other than I think he's fucking wank. And just
He's genuinely one of the worst from the 80s. Genuinely, like.
Imagine if everyone named themselves out of noises that they regularly
I'd be
make.
called Cough.
It'd be called Yarp.
Yarp. Gadget would be called Toon.
Toon.
And Stig would be called No, I don't like it.
oh yeah, fuck Snarf. Oh, Gadget.
Fuck him, he's dead.
Who's
Cowgun
your
Snarf.
least favourite sidekick?
I've got two, and I'm debating which one to put into the Patreon section. Because to be fair, they're both pretty good rants. I'll tell you what, I will go with the most recent one for this bit.
Ooh.
So I am going to share a little bit of dialogue from this character. I've ranted about this character on the program before.
Oh dear.
Because he's fairly recent. In fact, he's a 2021 sidekick.
Wow.
So I'm going to share my screen, and I just want you to listen to the voice that this character has.
I'm going to.
So I share my screen for everyone on the YouTubes, and I shall put the sound clip into the audio version.
Hey, thanks! Say, where can a feline get some donuts around here?
Oh, God.
Donuts? What are those?
God.
What? Don't kid around, this is important! We're talking about the greatest food in the world!
Snarf?
It's the same.
I've never heard of
isn't
them.
it? It's not like
They're a delectable treat, fried in oil!
And that's enough of Navaroo.
Oh,
Yes, I want
Naviru.
to talk about Navaroo from Monster Hunter Stories. This is Monster
Hate him
Hunter
already.
Stories is a great JRPG.
It's fantastic. It's the best Pokemon
Yeah.
game in years.
Exactly, yeah. It is the best Pokemon game ever made.
Probably. Probably.
And the problem is that they do this thing which JRPGs are really terrible for, where you have a silent protagonist.
Yep.
But unlike, say, Dragon Quest, where the silent protagonist just kind of protagons his way through it and just carries on as
Bit
is.
of puff now and again.
Yeah, they felt the need to give that the character should have a voice, so you get Navaroo, who is this little feline who follows you around and talks with this really annoying New York accent all the time.
He sounds like a bad
He calls you
Meowth.
my buddy.
It's like
And
Meowth,
it's
isn't it?
Oh my God, this is a 50-hour game, and this little cunt is running around with you all the time. He never shuts up. He talks over the overworld, and it is. I had to stop playing the game. I got halfway
We
through
should
the
go
game.
back to the village.
I had to stop playing the game. I got halfway through because I couldn't stand Navaroo,
turn
and there's
him off.
no way to turn him off.
Yeah, you can.
that's
They
awful.
usually let you in these games. They usually let you turn them off. But you can't.
Yeah, like
You either turn the whole volume down.
Japanese in Monster Hunter Stories too. Like I couldn't even get to a different voice actor for it.
Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
I don't mind having like a secondary character offer the silent protagonist dialogue. That's fine. Again, loads of games have done that in the past, and it's a known thing. I don't mind about that, but they made him so irritating. Even as a character, he takes credit for the work you do.
Yeah, he reckons he caught the egg.
Yeah, you'll go in, you'll beat a boss, and then like Navarro will stroll up to whoever gave you the quest. Yeah, we killed the boss for you. It's like, no, you did nothing. You fucking hid in the corner. I killed the boss with me monster. But no, oh god, it drives me mad because the thing is, it ruins what is an excellent game. Like, it is one of the best JRPGs I've played in a long time.
So good.
And like in the traditional sense of JRPGs, the game has loads of personality. It looks gorgeous. It's got a really wicked sense of humor outside of like the normal kind of JRPG tropes.
And the monsters look better than Pokemon's.
Yeah, the monsters look great. There's huge fashion potentials in it. You've got thousands of weapons you can possibly have that look mental and amazing.
Yep.
And it's all ruined by this little yellow cat.
He's worse than the first one. Have you played the first one?
No, I haven't played the first one. I can't bear it. I need to feed him to a Rathalon or something like that because he's so annoying. And the thing is, there is no reason for him to be in the game. He just appears in one of the opening cutscenes. He's like, oh, okay, I'm here now.
Yeah, isn't he trying to steal some eggs or something and you find him? I can't remember how it is.
Yeah.
It's just fucking...
Yeah, he's I think he's trying to steal some monster eggs.
It's like
you find him and he's like, You look like you could use some help. I'll stick around and show you the ropes. It's like, fuck off.
So if you're listening to this and you are a patron and you listen to Scorched Sheep, please request a Navarro character. Scorched Sheep or Gadget to do. That'll be a nice little treat for me.
You've realised that will backfire on you because I'll make him Treble's best friend.
No, it doesn't need a sidekick. Not a Jazzy will kick him into a ravine. But yeah,
I mean, Stigveld's already got Orapan, so you need a sidekick.
I think it is wild. Like when you say in comparison to like, let's say Dragon Quest XI, just because it's the best game ever made. But like you've got Eric that talks for the hero, and Eric has the odd accent and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near, and it's not annoying. I mean, he's got like
he
a
talks
Greenland,
like a human being.
Got like a Greenlandy accent and like a Norse accent type thing, almost like Bjork or someone like that. Navarro is just, he sounds like Mario in the Mario film. It's like Bob Hoskins. It's fucking crap.
It's so high pitched and grating constantly.
It's not got the best voice acting anyway in the game, but fuck.
Yeah, but at least like the other, like the human characters, you
very
tend to
stoic,
happen upon.
like yes,
they're very stoic and they're very calm. They're not high pitched weirdos.
You've never heard of donuts?
Oh god. You know, it's like they took the voice actor who like auditioned to voice Elmo, and this says, "No, you're far too annoying for Elmo,"
and problematic. Stop groping people.
Yeah. I hear the casting a JRPG down the hall. Why don't you try there?
Yeah. You can't touch anyone there. Oh god, I'm gonna get sued by Big Jim Henson now. Jesus Christ. It's coming for me.
It definitely, that clip you just played then, it just fits perfectly into that Jar Jar Binks snarf kind of just annoying as fuck. Go away. Just awful kind of.
Yeah, the thing is, at least with Jar Jar Binks, he was always kind of kept as like a side character. Like he would interject in some things. Like he never really had the huge amount of dialogue. With Navarro, he has so much dialogue because he is your character's voice.
He is literally the narrator.
You can't get rid of him. Yeah, and he's interpreting the character's responses when the character can quite easily nod, smile, shake her head, whatever.
The character doesn't talk in Pokemon. It works. Yeah. Just
put Navarro in the bin.
It's funny because a lot of people say like, "Oh, Navi from Ocarina of Time." All Navi does is, "Hey, listen." That's nowhere near as annoying.
Funny you should mention that.
Oh shit!
Oh well. Shall we move on to Candy then?
So Navi from Ocarina of Time.
I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
God damn it, Udo.
Almost like we planned it.
Fucking hell.
Navarro to Navi.
Hey, I wonder if there's a link. Navarro. Navi. Hey.
So yeah, two So I'll just give you some background. Everyone probably knows anyway. So she's your fairy sidekick in Ocarina of Time. The game actually starts off in her point of view as you meet up with Link, and she's just there by your side. The whole fucking thing. She was actually
She's not even fit like Tinkerbell.
No, she's just like a ball of light. Can't tell. She might be fit. Who knows? She was actually the first character to be voice acted in the series, which was even more annoying because, as you said, she's got the two annoying phrases, particularly vexatious.
Can you do it, Candy? Do an impression.
Normally, probably yes, but I got a sore throat, so I won't. Not even going to try. Maybe Gadget can put them in. You did a better impression anyway a minute ago when you ruined my section.
I'm so sorry. I am the most annoying sidekick ever.
This is true.
I mean, you are.
So basically, the role the reason she's there is to kind of act as a bit of a tutorial when you get a new piece of equipment, or steer you right back on the path, back on the right path. Sorry, when you get lost. But other than that, she just offers nothing in terms of the story. Like, for somebody that's supposed to be, this with you throughout the whole adventure, she just offers nothing, and it's hard to explain why she's even there in the first place. I think they said that all Kokiri children get fairies when they come of age or something, or just fairies come to them. But he was like, Link isn't even a Kokiri; he was just kind of taken in by the forest. So that was also a massive plot hole. But yeah, it's the hey listens. They're so just disruptive and mistimed. You don't necessarily need a character to explain. It would have been like a pop-up would have sufficed for instructions. And I remember that there's these like little rocks that you can hit. It's kind of scattered throughout the game that will, for some reason, read out the time to you. And like if you get lost, you could have just hit one of those and it could have sent you back on your way. But yeah, there's not that much to say about her other than just annoying and just there constantly. And I hate her.
I do. I do. I think they did it so much better in like let's think Wind Waker, for instance. The boat. What's the boat called?
Oh God, I can't remember now. Boaty McBoatface.
The boat is so cool in Wind Waker. I think it's like Sir Lion Face or something stupid. I don't know. But yeah, they've done sidekicks so much better. I like in Breath of the Wild where you don't even really get a sidekick, do you? You don't need it.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think in Twilight Princess. I don't think. Was there a fairy in Twilight Princess?
You do. You get that guy that's attached to you, the shadow thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's not annoying, though.
And clearly in Breath of the Wild, your sidekick is Beetle.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, I suppose Beetle is everywhere, isn't he? And I suppose you do unlock sidekicks in Breath of the Wild in a weird kind of way, but it's no fucking Navi. Awful little thing. I'd love to find out what they... There is no character model for Navi. I mean, there's probably deviant art of Navi, but there's no actual...
No, it's a little blue and white dot with butterfly wings.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is. There's no like... Even like on the 3DS remake, they didn't make it any different, did they? It's just...
See, when I got a 3DS, I got it with Ocarina of Time, the 3D version.
I did, yeah.
And I couldn't play it for very long simply because of Navi.
Yeah.
Like going through that opening area in the Kokiri Forest. Fine enough, it worked. It wasn't as janky as I was expecting it to be for an N64 game.
Yeah.
But then just hey, listen, all the time. Like, no, fuck off, you little blue dot. I'm busy here.
If you took your time with anything...
I'm 30 years old, I can play this game. I know what to do here.
A lot of people like to take the times with games. I don't know why. But a lot of people like to take the times with games. And in that game, you can't take your time with it because Navi's like, hey, listen, we've got to go over there. You know what I mean? That kind of fucking shite.
Yeah,
there's another character actually in Ocarina of Time as well that's sort of misplaced. Do you remember that owl, Gaebora?
Yeah.
And he'd come and fuck your life up every now and again as well. And he'd try and kind of skip through the dialogue. And right at the end, he asks you if you understand. Yeah. And if you hit no, which it automatically does, you have to then go back and do the whole thing again. Oh.
Fucking 90s. Bring them back.
Right. Oodles, your least favourite. Is it real or fake this time?
Fictional? It's real. No, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's real subject, though. It's a real subject, guys. Hard hitting. Who here knows who Roy Harper is?
Roy Harper.
Look, it's
It's
me.
an animated thing, isn't it?
It's a superhero thing. Better known as Speedy or Arsenal. Who knows who Oliver Queen is? The Green Arrow. Has
Oh,
anyone
yes.
heard of the Green Arrow?
Yes.
Fucking hell!
Yes.
Right,
I
so
haven't heard of the Green Arrow.
the Green Arrow is a DC superhero of Justice League fame and from the 1940s. So Roy Harper, better known as Speedy, has been the sidekick of Green Arrow as early as 1946. Orphaned as a little boy, Harper grew up as a Navajo native, which was huge for the era. It's fucking huge. Think of it, the 40s, and they've got a representation of Navajo in a comic book. Massive. Obviously, Roy Harper's appeared as an alien as he got older, like they did with Robin, that eventually turned Robin into Nightwing, because it makes more sense that a 30-year-old's not just called Little Robin Boy Wonder. So they called him Arsenal when he got older. The character's been through a lot over the years. He was a founding member of the Teen Titans that's always missed now, and I'll tell you for why. So he's gone through a bunch of basically issues, and during I think the early or late 70s, the DC Comics decided to do something. They decided to assassinate a character without killing the character. They basically turned Speedy, or Roy, or Arsenal into a junkie. He was caught by Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, shooting heroin in a comic book.
Lovely.
Yeah. Now, this was a character assassination. Now, a lot of people loved Speedy because it's what it was, but they needed, because the don't do drugs or the just say no thing was kicking into gear, they needed to pick a character. And the reason why I hate this character, because it killed everyone in that year. It killed Green Arrow off, and I used to love Green Arrow. In my opinion, it was better than Hawkeye back then when I was younger. And obviously this happened before I was born, but I didn't know about it until I started catching up on comics. Now, because of they turned Speedy into a fucking junkie, it killed Green Arrow. Green Arrow was cast from, because people they weren't picking the book up anymore. Oh, Speedy's recovered now. They were still like, no, he's a junkie. There's no way he can get past it. They couldn't look past that. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't redeem the character at all.
And his name sounds like a drug.
Yeah.
His name sounds like a drug. Yeah, and it just ruined Green Arrow. Green Arrow was a joke character up until the CW took back over, and it's still kind of a joke. Apparently, it's an alright show for the first season. I've never watched it. But, yeah, Green Arrow was big. He was huge. You've seen what he looks like in the comics, haven't you? It's like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Big blonde mustache, big Robin Hood hat.
Games.
Oh, him. Oh, yeah, I've seen him, yeah.
Yeah, and Speedy was like a red version of that. And they used to, like I say, he was a founding member of Teen Titans. Teen Titans is a huge book for me. I fucking love the whole of Teen Titans. You've got Dick Grayson, you've got Roy Harper, Speedy, you've got all these people, like Stig knows Teen Titans, don't you? Fantastic. But you never see Speedy anymore. Yeah, Teen Titans Go. That's still he's not in that, is he?
No.
They completely destroyed it, and because of that, it makes me. He's my most disliked character, even though he's one that I loved. I dislike it because it's kind of what DC did to him, and because I'm the same. There's no redemption in the character. Whatever he does, because he still exists in the books, but whatever he does, you still think you're a fucking junkie, though, aren't you? Even though he's a recovering addict and stuff, now people can't look past that. Like, he stole from Bruce Wayne to get gear. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Proper, like, I was talking to my friend about it this week, and they were like, oh, yeah, it's like Phil Mitchell from, did he say EastEnders or Emmerdale or something like that? One of these shows. There's a character called Phil Mitchell, and he was a junkie, and no one can never look past the fact that he was a junkie, even though he's not been a junkie
Alcoholic
for like 20
Phil
years.
Mitchell.
Oh, is that what he was? I don't know what he was.
It always goes.
But yeah.
They always, whenever they struggle with what to do with him, they just have him drink again.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do with Speedy. They just fucking, it's a trope. I mean, Grant Morrison got hold of him at one point, and they turned it around and said that, you know, I don't know if you've seen The Flash, but there's Reverse Flash. And
Oh, for fuck's
they
sake.
made out that Reverse Flash put the needle in his arm and stuff like that. They tried to redeem it, but no, they've just never been able to save the character. Now, if you look at pictures of Speedy or Arsenal. He's a cool character. I like archers. I mean, if anyone's listened to our Hawkeye spoiler special, I'm a big fan of archers and stuff like that. I love that kind of hero. They haven't got powers and stuff like that, but yeah, he's just ruined, and it's nowhere near as bad as what they did with like Damian Wayne, Jason Todd, and Dick Grayson, the Robins and stuff like that. They've done some really heinous things with those characters to try and kill them, and then they're not as subtle as they are with Marvel. Are very good with stuff like this. They turn sidekicks into actually fully fledged characters that can stand on their own. DC just kill them off, but not figuratively kill them because they don't want to not be able to produce toys of them and stuff like that. They just character assassinate them, and I hate that.
Turn them into bad guys.
Yeah, and Speedy's anyone that's into DC knows exactly. And yeah, he's called Speedy for fuck's sake.
That's what they did with Jason Todd, didn't it? Didn't they turn him into a bad guy?
They turned Jason Todd into a baddie. Yeah, absolutely. Irredeemable. Once a goodie's done something so heinous as take heroin. Ooh, there must be bad people. I'm joking, by the way. There must be bad people. Or murdered. Once you've murdered, you're done for, aren't you? You can never come back from it. It's bollocks. Yeah, Speedy, that's mine. Hate him. Hate what they've done to him. Used to love him. Proper 360 on the character. So, there you go.
Right. Cool. Right, Gadget. What are our listeners telling us?
Well, we've had a few people give us some feedback, but we'll start with our sex appeal who's not here because Biggie has written in.
Oh, yes.
Loaded in
and he
sack.
said, good evening, my fellow podders. So sorry I'm missing this one due to a family bereavement. This is why I'm not doing the voice for him.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
He gets a write off this one.
Yeah. I've only been playing GTA 5 on the PS5 with all the rays and traces on, and it looks incredible.
I might get
It's
that.
still a PS3 game.
I still might get that, though.
It's a great game though. It's so much fun. Though.
It's £7, isn't it?
Online is really good fun, and they keep adding to it and adding all these extra things.
I get it.
He says it's still janky at times, but it looks stunning during both solo and online play. For less than a tenner, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I also watched half of Fast and Furious 6, but fell asleep. Gadget and I will have more to discuss on this very soon. We will. My choices for tonight's topic are, for my favourite one, Claptrap from the Borderlands series. While most hate the little guy, I love him. If he's not spouting dad jokes, corny one-liners, exposition, or tutorial, then he's dishing out side quests that parody the norm. My personal favourite is the birthday party for himself. He loves his dub music and enjoys breakdancing too, and finally became a playable character in the pre-sequel. Give the poor guy another chance. I do say I do love the opening sequence of Borderlands 2 where he's missing his eye.
Really?
But he just keeps referring, "Come, minion, lead us to glory."
Has he got a really annoying voice?
Like him. Yeah, he's like Snarf.
He's got a really
mate.
high voice, yeah.
He's a Snarf. He's a little Snarf robot. He looks like that thing from Grand Day Out, from Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, he looks like the
When's
other
that film coming out, by the way? That's got to be soon, hasn't it?
later this year.
People really like Borderlands, don't they?
I'm keen when I finish Elden Ring finally to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
That's not Borderlands, that's Wonderlands. Different games.
I just want more Tiny Tina. She's amazing.
Is she? Oh.
No, she's 14.
No, I meant is she?
Don't make that noise.
No, I didn't mean it like
You
that.
made that noise. You made that
I
horny
didn't mean it
noise.
like that. I didn't mean it like
I think
that.
that's just his natural noise.
That's just a normal noise.
Anyway, he goes on to say the worst is Jar Jar Binks from the Star Wars prequels. Fuck this guy. I get that a new generation of kids watching Star Wars will love him, but the jibber-jabbering fool with the lisp was so fucking irritating and a bumbling fool.
Means they're gonna die.
You some people gonna die?
Oh, God, it's
the
awful.
backlash from Star Wars fans was so bad that Lucas reduced him to a footnote by Revenge of the Sith from almost the third main character in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, at least they read the room.
Whenever I feel sad and depressed, I remind myself that some fans are actually convinced he's a Sith Lord. Seriously, Google
He
it.
is. He is a Sith Lord.
I do love that theory. That original, wasn't it original story concept or something?
No, he brought the Empire. He has the final vote on the Chancellor Palpatine to get unlimited power. Unlimited power. He gave him the final vote. You know, in the
How
Congress.
did he get into fucking power, any
was a
position of
Gungan
power.
politician.
How did he become a politician? He is.
This is what I keep trying to tell you.
The guy
Wars is
stuck his
fucking
tongue
crap.
into a fucking electrical field. Yeah, like he's just.
Yeah, and he made the
Stupid.
Empire what it is. He voted Palpatine for, I think it was executive powers. He gave the final vote, and this is when Padme says, and this is the day democracy dies, or something like that, because they gave a Gungan the fucking final vote.
Fucking Jar Jar.
I'm sorry, but they caused all this misery in the galaxy.
Do you know there's only one good thing come from Jar Jar Binks, and that was the toy that was like a Jar Jar head and had a long tongue.
Yes,
that
I remember that.
You could
Yeah.
flick out and attach to things,
Yeah.
and you'd be sat in class.
It's like the hand puppet one as well.
Yeah, because you'd be sat in class, you got that, you go, whew, and you grab one like when your
Yeah.
classmate's book or something, and just like pull it off the table. It's the only good thing that came from him. Fucking awful character.
Even his mate, even his boss Nass, he was terrible as well.
Oh, boss Nass.
All
awful.
the Gungans were fucking shy. No, they were a badass Gungan, weren't they? In that war bit, he was he had a scar. He was cool. He was a cool Gungan. I liked him. Oh, fucking
Moving
Jar
on,
Jar.
Xenos Infinity has said the first two that jump to mind are both orange characters known for spinning things around to fly. Obviously, I'm talking about Miles Tails Prower from the Sonic games, and Bandana D from the Kirby games, who's the closest thing Kirby has to a sidekick now.
The D's have been there since the beginning, man.
I need to play a Kirby game. Never played one.
Please. I think there's one on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Online thing that you get.
Yeah.
I think is it Dream something like that. You get like 3 games. It's so good. Super easy though. So
Fair enough.
You'll breeze through them.
Lee Davies has said best sidekick is R2 motherfucking D2.
Yep.
The worst is Snarf. from
See?
Thundercats. What an arsehole he is.
Isn't it mad how they can like create a character like R2D2 that has like just like no language, and yet it's so endearing and so full of character. Like George Lucas can do that, and then in episode 1, Jar Jar Binks turns up. How can a man fall so far?
Like R2D2 is just
Exceptional.
He's just
Even
they call him a
C-3PO 's
trash
really
can
good.
because he kind of looks like that, like a bin on wheels. But just like you said, he's so endearing.
I would
Has no
genuinely
face,
say-
doesn't talk, just bleeps and bloops.
Yeah.
But he's amazing.
The bleeps and bloops are really good for conveying emotion. Like there's that.
He's got that,
Yeah, when he screams. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you get that like when Han's put into carbonite.
Yeah.
And you get the camera goes to R2 and he goes,
Yeah, they do that.
sad. It's like, oh, R2.
Yeah, they do.
The thing is, like,
they do him so well, don't they?
yeah, it's just one of those. It's like I just don't understand. Like, I genuinely think R2D2. I'd love to do a little survey on this. I think he's more. I think people would recognise him over Darth Vader, the 2 most iconic characters probably in the saga. I think people would know who R2D2 is over Darth Vader. Genuine. I know it sounds. It's a big pull to say.
Kids
but
might.
Cause for me, they are the number 1 and number 2, aren't they? When you see Star Wars stuff, it's them 2.
Yeah, because he's like really easy to make a toy of, and you can make him into all kinds of different
Exactly.
things.
When you see all the stuff, it's you see lightsabers, you see a few blasters, and you always see Darth Vader and R2D2 stuff. They're the big hits. So it's such a fall from grace. Fucking Mr. Gonna die.
I also like.
Fucking awful.
I also do like the R2D2. It's similar with what we're saying about Chewbacca. Is you can't understand the word he's saying, and the only way that's interpreted is for him is C-3PO. So he'll say stuff to C-3PO, and C-3PO react to it, and you know that R2's just absolutely having his life. And you don't know what he said, but you know that he's just fucking pissing C-3PO
They have that
off,
weird
and it's
thing,
great.
don't they? Where, like in the first 3 films, Luke can understand R2D2. In the prequels, Anakin can understand R2D2, and in the sequels, Rey can understand R2D2.
They have a little screen.
It's like only a few of them can understand him. Is that what it is? Is it the computer screen? Is that how they're reading?
Yeah, there's a screen in the X-wing. There's a screen in the Naboo fighter.
I know there's some way that they can understand them, but it's so fucking. It's such a good little tin can. I think it's better than a Dalek and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
As little robots and droids go, I think R2D2 is number 1.
It's
Better than
great.
Claptrap.
Terrestrial Lecturer says, I'm probably too late for this. No thought put into it, but off the top of the head, Clank. He doesn't
Oh,
say whether
Clank.
that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I like Clank.
I think he probably likes
I like
Clank.
Clank.
I think it's probably
I like Clank.
Yeah.
He's a lovely boy.
He reminds me
Well
of.
spoken.
He reminds me of like certain portrayals of Dr. Watson. Oh, there's another good sidekick. Certain
Yeah.
portrayals of him. He's the straight man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like him.
Yeah, Clank could have been done. Like I said, I've only played the one game, but it could have been done so wrong. It would have been
It's better
so.
than Daxter,
It
isn't
would have
it?
been so easy to make that character really
yeah.
annoying and just an idiot. But no, they do. It's
I think
really
as well
good.
in the remake of the first Ratchet and Clank game, when Clank's running, it's so funny. He runs with his ass forward. I love it.
He does
I
look funny
love
running.
it. I love
Angry
robots.
Kurt has come in saying, my favourite sidekicks all come from the Half-Life universe. 2 of them are Dog and the companion cube from Portal. Best cube.
Ah, best cube.
But the choice I will go into detail is with Alex. Alex was introduced in Half-Life 2 and was a thoroughly compelling character to be with throughout the series. What makes her different is that she's a strong woman who was voice acted superbly and has had a great script, so every interaction she has with Gordon was a joy. I really grew to like her, but what was also cool is that she was never really treated as a love interest in the games, which she might have been in any other game. She was just a really great friend to have by your side and someone you could count on in the heat of battle.
Yeah, Alex is great.
Yeah, Alex's character is
So
absolutely
forgive me
great.
for not knowing, because like I said, I've played about 10 minutes of Half-Life 2. Is Alex the Alex that's in Half-Life Alex? Is that the same
Yes.
person?
Yes.
I think I know it is the girl with the headband on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a cool looking character, though.
She is a really good character, and she's really well developed and well written, and you follow like her motivations throughout are easy to follow, and she's aligned with Gordon, but she is doing her own thing for most of it.
When he said
There is
Half-Life,
one-
though, I thought it was going to be like, "Morning, Gordon."
He's pretty great
It's going
though.
to be him. He's brilliant.
Barney.
Him. But I only know him from that YouTube series that Stig told me to do years ago, and I watched the
So
whole thing.
Good.
It's so
If you've
good.
never watched that, you have to watch the
Morning, Gordon.
Half-Life in VR where they modded a Half-Life game, and it's a guy and a
so
bunch
many
of friends
scientists.
just like doing it, but the guy who does the scientist voice is perfect, and
It's so good.
it's all improvised, but fucking hilarious. It's so good.
I think it's the best thing you've ever shown me, Stig. I watched
So-
the whole thing.
I did.
It's so good.
So it's probably about 3, 4, probably longer, like 5 hours long, and it just goes.
I think it's 5 hours. Yeah.
Once they get to where's the place? Zenon,
Zen.
Zen, yeah.
Zen.
It just goes off the rails,
It's so
completely
funny.
off the
It's-
rails.
I might need you to send me a link to that. I
Yeah.
haven't heard
Oh,
of it,
gotcha.
so I'm curious.
I don't think you were on that episode when Stig brought it up. This was years ago. Oh, mate, it's the best 5 hours you'll ever have in your life.
Yeah, someone send me a
I
link
will do.
later, and I'll stick it in the show notes
So
for anyone
good.
curious.
Morning,
last
Gordon.
up we have Ray. Now I normally always like it when Ray's come in here, but I don't like the second
What's
half of this
Ray
email,
done?
but we'll start. Well, on the first half, my favorite sidekick would have to be Bender Bending Rodriguez from Futurama.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a lazy, rude, substance-abusing robot with a very foul mouth and zero sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
He has no problem selling out anyone in sticky situations, which is often caused by his irresponsible behaviours in the first place. However, that is why everybody loves him. No matter how untrustworthy he is, there is always a tiny corner in his heart waiting to break free and live a little. As such, Bender becomes the unlikely hero and an icon of the series.
I think he's brilliant. He's fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah,
There's no
I still
qualms with Bender.
maintain. I still maintain my favorite. My two favorite episodes of Futurama is one. It's one of the what if episodes.
Yeah.
And it's when Bender becomes human and he goes off the fucking rails.
Fuck, yeah.
But then the other main one is when Bender joins the robot church and ends up going to hell, and you've got that amazing music on them, but with him and the robot devil.
Yeah. It's coming back, isn't it? It's coming back.
Yeah.
It is, and
it John
John
DiMaggio?
DiMaggio signed up for it.
Yes. He can't be without him. He cannot.
No, it would be an outcry if they'd recast Bender.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
think I think Bender is probably Matt Groening's best character. I like him more than Homer and stuff like that. I think he's incredible. I know a lot of people are like, what? But yeah, I think he's just a better character in general.
I think Bender
Yeah,
might
no,
be
I'd go
the
for
best character that he's created.
Yeah, I
I mean,
genuinely think he is.
Homer's
I think he's-
brilliant, but obviously
Yeah.
the longer the Simpsons has gone on, the more
It's got worse.
the worse the character has got on the stupid
When
situations.
Homer knows he's Homer, they're the worst episodes.
Yeah, when Simpsons was at its height, Homer was just absolutely incredible.
Unparalleled.
But Bender's just great throughout the
consistent, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the bit I don't like of this email, he says, on the other hand, I cannot say the same thing to Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element.
Whoa! Gabandella!
Chris Tucker did his best to portray a character opposite the stoic Bruce Willis, but an overdramatic radio host really does not stand out in a fairly overdramatic movie.
Oh, come on.
And apart from being annoying, he helps very little story-wise. So sadly, I have to name him as my least favourite sidekick.
He is one of the best people in that film.
Love Ruby Rod.
Great representation of LGBTQ, all that, especially back then as well. Man that dresses how he wants, what he wants. I think it's incredibly, and it's Chris Tucker's best role.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
So, but yes, that's our mailbag.
Excellent.
I'll be having words with Ray later.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're going to get Chris Tucker on the show.
Can't be having this anti-Ruby Rod rhetoric.
No, I love Ruby Rod. Oh, and that fucking, that leopard print onesie thing he wears. Oh my God.
Yeah, even you're not skinny enough to pull that off.
No, I'm not. I'd love that. With a big hairpiece he has on. Oh my God.
Big hairpiece, open collar.
Microphone. Oh God, he's so good. Ray, you are wrong. You are wrong and you are a rotter. But anyway, that is our bulging sack. That is it mainly for the show, but we've got some socials to do. And what are we doing next week, Candy?
I'll tell you. So, as always, you can visit our website, modernescapism.co.uk. On there, you can find a link to all of our socials, contact details, and a merch store. If you have any comments or feedback, you can fill out a form on our website, tweet us, or email us on modernescapismpod@gmail.com. You can find us on our Discord server if you'd like to have a quick chat with us in our community. Lovely place. Please come and join us. Twitch as well. We do some gaming streams every now and again. We try and keep it nice and regular for you. And you can find us on twitch.tv/modernescapism. The best place to find our schedule is Discord or Twitch, or just give us a like on Twitch and it'll let you know whenever we're going live.
Oh, the cat's back.
Fucking cats. He knows it's because I'm doing the socials. Fuck's sake.
And I have been active on Twitch as well. I mean, I'm not very good at sticking to my thing. But what I'm going to do in the future, I'm just going to stream when I want.
You were supposed to be playing Dishonored.
I will still,
more
but
Elden Ring.
I'm just going to stream what I want when I want. That's it. You're just going to get ADHD streams.
Fine, perfect. Well, that's what we like.
Yeah, man.
All of our playthroughs will be uploaded to our YouTube channel as well, along with our regular episodes.
Somebody join the fight club with me. Come on.
Please, he needs the help. And you can find us on youtube.com/modernescapism. And we've told you about our Patreon already, so give us a follow on that. If you would like to give us a bit of extra financial support, you get lots and lots of extras. It's really, really worth it. And if you want to support us in a non-financial way, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you can, and that really, really helps as well. We don't read the low-star reviews, 5-star reviews or no. Next week...
We have got an algorithm set up, so the low-star ones, they don't even show up to us.
Yeah, don't even acknowledge them, I'm afraid.
It's him.
And don't forget, everyone, Scorched Sheep now has its own YouTube channel. So if you search for Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep on YouTube, you'll find the channel.
You can watch us now. You can see us actually rolling in real time.
Sorry about my cat's asshole there.
I liked it.
Yes, next week we have unpopular opinions, and this is just an absolute open book of a subject on this one. TV, film, what you change up in a script, how you'd rewrite a character, whether you hate them, love something that everyone hates, hate something everyone loves. Absolutely open to anything on that one.
Zack Snyder's Justice League's good.
This is going to be one of those episodes where Oodles has a point to make and doesn't know how to make it.
I'm going to be terrible at this. I'm going to be shocking at this one, but yeah, fuck. I might write a script just so I'll never deviate from the script. And this is my opinion. Yeah, it's going to be good, nice and cathartic. Yeah, that has been us. Hope to see you soon, Biggie. Hope you are well, and thank you everyone for listening. We will be joining the green room for the patrons very shortly, but for everyone else, good night.
Bye.
Bye.